お前はあれだけ調子に乗っていた俺を最後までかばってくれた。周りから嫌われてもいじめられなかったのは、最後までバスケ部にいられたのは、エースで主将のこいつが俺の陰口を許さなかったからだ。3本目だ。行くぞ達也。
さあ来いよ。絶対止めてやるぜ。
What's going on, y'all? Haibara's new game plus. Man, yo, boys, girls, I am struggling with this anime. I am going to ask you right off the jump, right? If you're not familiar with my channel, what's up? I'm Dom. I'm from the Otaku Room. I keep it real here on the channel. I review weekly seasonal anime every single season. All the seasonal anime that I'm watching, I review them every week here. And I give my thoughts on the show or the episode that we just watched, including the whole entire season sometimes. But mostly I just try to focus on the episode. But with this show specifically, I'll break it down, but I have some serious problems. So we have our main character here, and kind of the way that things occurred is we didn't really see him at school at all. This was all about him hanging out with a group of friends for the first time in a high school environment. So he goes and he knocks on the door, the proverbial door of his friend Miori, which is honestly the friend he should have had in his first go through in life. And I'm gonna wait to give you all my thoughts later. But he goes through and Miori makes a deal. She wants to get closer to one of the boys that's one of his friends. I think it's the Rita guy, the dude with the very shitty haircut. He has like a Lord Farquhar haircut. I think she wants to get close to that guy, and she makes a deal with Natsuki. And she was like, you know, you help me get closer to him. I'll help you get closer to girls. And then he's like, all right, bet, but you got to help my fashion sense. So he goes shopping at Uniqlo. And he gets just some basic gear and everything else with the most lamest fit. I don't know what you guys feel about it, but the fanny packs across the, like, I'm not a fashion dude or anything, but the fanny packs across the chest is very feminine to me. And as a man, like I'm out with that one. I get it's a fashion thing, and I'm sure it's super popular. Maybe especially in Japan and stuff. The fanny pack though, it's the wackest of whack to me. It's super lame. I don't like it. But you know, apparently the girls that eat it up here, they all had some very tasteful fashion sense. He hangs out with them, pretty much successful. They go to like what I would say is like the equivalent of like a Dave and Buster's, or like a movie theater that has like a bowling alley and pool tables and like a little hangout spot, whatever, which is cool. He continues to crush on this Hikari girl, which is a girl who in his first life is the one that basically went, nah, you too fat for me. Then he struggles to get closer to this Tatsuya guy because, you know, Tatsuya talked a little bit of ish to him back in his past lives, and now he views him as a big D-bag, so he's like, oh, whatever. And then he goes and becomes the Japanese Michael Jordan. Has the hang time of, I don't know, Space Jam, with his clothes just in the wind, whatever. He plays him, so he beats him one-on-one, like I guess like first to 3 or something like that. All the girls are like clapping, like he's the coolest thing ever. And I think that's pretty much the end of the episode after that. That's pretty much like the main points if I think about it. Oh yeah, they all high-five him and say, you know, join the basketball team, and I guess now him and Tatsuya are gonna be best buds or whatever, because he was this unobtainable friend in his past life. Now, let me give you my real thoughts. First off, the show is just, I'm really struggling with the show, and I think I'm going to drop it personally. If I don't drop it, it's going to be because I have overwhelming engagement on the video. Let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments below. But if you watch it, I really, really need to hear from you in the comments. Just type whatever your thoughts are on the show, on me, on the episode, on your whatever it is. You clicked on my video, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. But the show is just really lame. And maybe I can't empathize with the character. Maybe I'm struggling to like understand him in a way. First off, my first biggest hurdle is I've never had well, if I could redo high school, or, you know, this desire to go relive that part. Now, of course, you know, if I could go back in time, hell yeah, I would. The biggest currency we have in life is time. So if I could go back and gain any time, you know, to make life a little better, right? To make a little bit better choices, to maybe not make a dumb choice. Of course, I think we would all pretty much jump on that. But I've never had the desire to be like, oh, you know, I want to go back in high school and redo my social life. Like that's the lamest thing. Like high school really, even college, to be frank, really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Like you're probably gonna end up being friends with like maybe one or two people from like your whole school stint ever. So I don't know. I think that's my first hurdle. But overall, I'm watching it and I'm like, it's just so dumb and lame. And my problem stem with him being stuck on this Hikari girl. I talked about it in the first episode, but he's stuck on this Hikari girl. Like, yo, I get it, right? You know, if you want to go for revenge, but this girl hasn't done anything to him in this timeline yet. So yeah, I guess he was pissed off at the other one, but all she did was say, hey, Mr. Husky Boy, like, I ain't into you, bro. Like, you look like you're into ramen noodles, not girls. And he got butthurt about it, you know what I mean? And I guess he held on to that for like 5-10 years. But she didn't really do anything. All she said was, nah, not for me, fam. So I don't really like the fact that he's stuck on this girl when I'm sure there's just as many pretty girls, including that Mayuri girl, including this Nanase, I think her name's Nanase, right? The girl who's like, oh, come work at my coffee shop or whatever. In the episode, there's tons of girls. Like there's 8 billion people in the world, and in Japan, there's like 1 million people. Half of those are females, so it's like the options are endless. Why does it have to be this Hikari girl? So that's my first problem, being stuck on a girl that, unless her art deceives her, she's whatever. But I guess he wants to go and prove himself. Okay, all right, bet. That's my first problem. My second problem is he keeps this whole episode. He was talking about how day and night, 7 days a week, bro was practicing. He was at the basketball court. He was trying to be a young Carmelo Anthony. It's like, well, bro, if it makes no effing sense to me. So you're telling me in high school, your first year of high school, you were aware you were a husky boy. You know, we all had a mirror, right? Like I remember, like, yo, out of 8th grade, your boy was husky. Yo, 9th grade, I got it. I was in the gym. I was playing. I mean, I got my 6-pack too. But I didn't have, like, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to understand. It's like, so the story you're telling me is because you didn't quite make the starting lineup. You were practicing 24/7. You were at the courts. How are you still fat? It makes no sense to me. It's impossible. You know, if bro is telling the truth, is like he was at the court 7 days a week after school every day. He was just on the ball. He had no friends, nothing else to do. At least if you do that for the first year of high school, by going into the second year, you're gonna be yoked. You know, at least you're gonna be pretty lean. You know, you have to out eat that, and it's pretty hard. You have to out eat that if you're really that active, and you're really, you know, practicing ball that much. Like it takes a lot. You sweat a lot. Like you have to seriously out eat that. So he would have had to have some gross eating habits to stay husky if he was legitimately practicing. And the other part of it too is like, okay, well, if you were practicing that much, it seems like you were pretty good, even if you were a big boy. So you're telling me on those 3 years you couldn't make the team? It pissed me off, and it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. I don't like it. I think it's the dumbest ass storyline ever. It just doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. And the whole effing episode is just about him being scared of this Tatsuya dude, because this Tatsuya guy basically said like, hey, stop being a pussy. And he was like, and then he just was regretting it for 10 years. I don't know. I think that's the dumbest thing ever. I'm just struggling with the show. This just really bad writing. And maybe maybe the author had this experience in high school and he's projecting himself onto his story, which is totally fine. But you can't in one sentence tell me that you trained so hard for basketball, so much so that he's like, oh, I made my team in college or whatever. So you're pretty good. You weren't a scrub. You know what I mean? So I think the author maybe anyway, you can't tell me in one sentence that you're so good. So much so that now, going back in time, he was able to just, you know, this guy. Now, I don't know. It's just so dumb. Guys, I think I'm done with this show. I just can't. It's just pissing me off. The more I talk about it, I'm just getting irritated. Your boy by today's chest day, anyways, for your boys. I need to go work my anger off after this. Pick up my kids. I'm gonna go to the gym after this. Yeah, this pissed me off. It's just so dumb. I think I'm done. This episode was a 5 out of 10 for me. I think this was doo-doo trash water. Like if you see a video from me about this next week, it's because y'all came out and you put in the comments like, here, you know, it had good engagement, and I want to talk about it again next week. But doo-doo trash water. All right.